Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's map number 3 here, the grand finals at WESG. Space Soldiers and fnatic, and yeah, we had some interesting stuff going on with that second map. I'm not sure fnatic couldn't be $800,000 richer right now.
Yeah, I think that's definitely been like the sort of the call made by many people at this point, of sort of like being 7-0 up.
Yeah,
it definitely looked like they were sort of in the booth, like having maybe a bit too much fun for a grand final, and it definitely didn't seem like they were fully focused.
That one fateful round at least, 2 versus 4, they decide they've won it, they just go fight and end up losing it. That definitely had an impact, I believe. We'll see if they can mentally recover. This should be an interesting game, and a big welcome if you are just joining us, of course. Invite all your friends. I realize it's late.
Wake them up?
Yeah, wake them up. Just call them. People like that. People love it when you do that.
I don't think we know the same sort of people. I think that's the best way to get in my sort of bad books. But then again, if it's waking me up for a grand final, Space Soldiers with the chance to, I suppose, take their first big paycheck home.
Then maybe.
Like fnatic, they've had big paychecks in the past.
Yes,
at least a lot of these guys. Maybe even, say, a few weeks ago. Not that long ago at all.
Yeah, I suppose for Golden, though, I mean, Golden and Necro, I guess JW, Flusher, and Crims, they've tried it a couple of times, but
yeah,
the two newer guys, it could really be something.
For sure. No, and then, yeah, as said, on the other side, Space Soldiers, we've seen them take some, like, smaller tournaments, like the GeForce Cup, but nothing anywhere near the scale of this, and definitely not against an opponent like fnatic, a team with multiple major winners sat in there either way. We're into our pistol. I actually was questioning whether we're redoing the knife, because there is Kevlar on every single player.
Yeah, that's a little bit rare. Means no smokes to cover the bomb plant, no kit for the defuse or anything else like that. Can be risky. Lekros managed to sneak all the way in here without getting spotted, and it seems like now they're playing, almost gravitating around him. And Flusher's going to fall back as well. I was wondering if he wanted to go into the underpass, but this is not going to be an easy. This is a 3-way crossfire that they have to break on the fnatic side with no utility. They can't get rid of Engine, they can't get rid of Calyx using Molotovs or anything else that you'd use later on. Major, got to be careful he doesn't get caught off guard. But this could be very dangerous for fnatic. Major hitting a great headshot there. Santaras and Engine. Bomb is dropped, and so is fnatic. Lekro going to be going down. Calyx for the last kill there. That was just an unbelievably good setup, considering there was no utility.
Yeah, excellent read coming out from the CT side, and they start things off with that pistol round. And, well, unless it's more like Cobble, that's can be an important start for them, especially on that CT side. I'll be interested to see what happens with AWPs in Space Soldiers, because I know that, of course, Lekro likes to pick up a secondary op on this map. Even Crim's picking up the AWP sometimes on that CT side. But for Space Soldiers, well, we've been looking at Paz and actually Major a lot of the time. Either way, they've got to break past these pistols. Definitely prominent, especially on this map. Deagles onto 3, a couple of CZs, and already Flusher will remove Paz from action.
Yeah, what a quick boost as well. Could have easily caught Santaras. Flusher trying to see if he could wrap it around, but he's going to be going down. So it seems like they've stabilized the situation, at least for a minute here. Oh, and there's Crims with a headshot. They're so well known for this, these fnatic guys. The Deagles got to be very careful. They will lose 2 more players, and leaving Crims alone.
Actually going to go chasing. He is left completely alone. Bomb still at the top of middle, but I don't think that's going to play much of a part in this round. Crim's just looking to at least make things a little bit costly, but it was mainly SMGs for Space Soldiers in this round anyway, so losing a few players along the way is somewhat expected. They're still going to know that Crims is here, and eventually Calyx will be there to shut him down. Of course, Calyx having an incredible match in the last.
Yeah, what was the ridiculous statistics that Peter from HLT was pointing out?
I think it was something like in rounds, yeah, in rounds they had 24 and 3 in rounds that they won. So the 19 rounds.
That's really incredible. Like, that's such an amazing performance. Gotta appreciate that kind of dedication when you are about to lose the grand finals. Good for him to step it up like that. Now let's see. Third round here should be a much easier one for Space Soldiers, as fnatic just don't really have anything. Nothing at all, in fact.
Yeah, just going to be looking to try and buy into the next round. Paz playing with the Deagle. Has a lot of support around middle. You have to be careful from the man from underpass, but well, never mind. Letcrow gets taken down, and this should be nice and clean. Zontara is even just using the USP to close that one out, and well, a flawless round is a great way to start off your economy over on that CT side. I'll be interested to see if they actually do keep the SMGs into this next one. A great way to save some extra cash, especially now that Paz has actually bought up that AWP. I wouldn't be overly surprised.
Yeah, the bonus round in full effect here. Give Engine the MP7, MP9 on Calyx, and Major, of course, with the FAMAS. Jump by there, no problem with the smoke, and that's a nice headshot. Crims trying to take a peek there at the ramp, instantly shut down.
JW hoping for the trade. They're very A-heavy setup at the moment from Space Soldiers, leaving Major with the sort of jump peak, the classic jump peak, to try and find out the necessary information. Does still have quite a lot of risk to it, of course, but obviously at the moment a smoke is down, so unlikely that the T's will make too much of a move. Zontares, after taking the tag, has now been handed the AWP. Not normally his weapon of choice, but I'm pretty sure this man can do anything if necessary. Actually saw him get a couple of orb kills on just 1 HP earlier in the tournament, so definitely not going to put it past him. Minute left on the clock for fnatic to make some sort of move. Now, of course, the SMGs don't really allow for too much of a challenge into this position. Zontara is being smoked off, but it is going to be this split towards the B side. Golden already getting the opener. Is left onto Paz, but he quickly finds 2 kills, looking for his third, but he's done enough for now.
Yeah, that actually keeps them in the round. JW and Flusher. Oh, that Molotov does so much damage. They're almost both down. Flusher's going to be dropped. That was a wonderful grenade. Otherwise, that could have very well been around for fnatic. One good kill, and then they're right back in it. Frying up a couple of Swedes. And that's turned into now a much more interesting start here for Space Soldiers. After that initial rundown of Major, who, it's fine covering the window from that position on short, but you should have either someone spotting in middle for you, or you should be a little bit further to the right so that you can't get shot in the back.
JW going to stick with the Catalyst rifle for this round. The rest of the team will be on pistols. Now, of course, it means into the next round without a bomb plant, unless he's got an extra bit of money saved, he'll be limited in what he can buy. The question is, will he actually be able to do too much in this round? Now, we saw a strong performance from Team 1 to actually take down Space Soldiers on this very map. At the same time, mistakes were made versus the Japanese, but look at that. A quick start for Letcrow. Already finds a first. JW actually manages a second before being traded out, and this Palace position now going to be integral if they're going to hold on to this round. Engine trying to survive, but Crims with the CZ as well. This is exactly what fnatic do. They give you away into the match. It makes it seem like maybe they're falling out, and then quickly they open things up. Nice shot from Paz with the AWP. Gives them a way back in, and Major has caught another.
Letcrow, if he can survive Major, he should be in a good position to try and win this round. But what a comeback from fnatic into this round at all. Letcrow playing close. Easy kill. Now it's trouble for Paz. Crossing this line won't be easy. And he's out of time as well. Gonna fall back. They can't really afford to give up the AWP, so it sort of makes sense. Big win for fnatic, putting the first on the board here on map number 3.
It's exactly what they do, though, isn't it? CZ's couple for Letcrow, and Crims and JW chiming in with one of their own, but It's a painful round. Luckily for the CT side, they've made so much money over the last few that there is going to be no problems. Oh, Crim's hesitant with the fist bump. Maybe it says it all. I was wondering if fnatic... I feel like if anybody could bounce back from this in this entire tournament, except obviously maybe someone like SK, experience-wise, fnatic is the one I'd look at. But at the same time, I think they are going to be kicking themselves. They could have already lifted the trophy.
Yeah, I think the more time passes since that, at least the further away it's going to be. But I think that it is a big risk. And if you have more rounds like that, where you make rudimentary mistakes and it costs you, it's like the echo from the previous round sort of comes back to haunt you every time, and you think about, oh man, not again. So got to be very careful about that. Good mid control, great positions. The fact that JW's managed to sneak all the way into top connector is a huge advantage right now for fnatic. If you can get that position on the T side, you increase your chances of winning significantly. Oh, but that's a great shot.
Zantara is already doing large amounts of damage. Of course, there is a double AWP setup in play already. As said at the beginning, it has been Major picking up the secondary. He's going to be very aggressive in these B apartments, holding the angle, spotting towards the site, and then Engine further back, watching onto short. Paz will remove JW from that valuable position in connector. And now as they push in, Major spotted them, able to fall back. Engine protects him from short. And this is just looking like a shutdown. Flusher and Crims, they've got so much left to do pushing into this site. Flusher now left alone. The spray is wild. He eventually gets the kill, but the CTs will bounce back swiftly. 5-1 up. Now the Ts are in trouble once again.
That was scary when he tried to get out of the B hallway and there was a guy waiting for him in catwalk there, but good teamwork, good defense. That comes off the back of fnatic just winning a round, so they're not going to be excited about that at all. Their economy, they did win it, I guess, with CSAT, so they're going to have a little bit more money maybe than they would, but still not enough to really go for a full buy. 5-1. I don't know what to say, Tom. I wasn't really expecting that much of a good start for Space Soldiers, but clearly the momentum build that they had going out from Inferno has carried on over into this map, and things are looking very much better indeed.
Yeah, very much a momentum-based team, a team that when their players get going, they're scary to play against for anybody. We saw them get to the semi-finals in this tournament last year. They've already done one better. The question is now, can they take that trophy home to Turkey? Probably wouldn't have been expected by many at the beginning of this tournament. Looking much better in this Antico round. Lekro, however, will be able to take down one. But Calyx is very quick to trade, and he definitely seems to have woken up. Crims, with that one rifle, will at least remove him from the A site, and he's going to go back to retrieve the bomb. But by the looks of things, the T's just making sure there's no one in A. Actually may go backing towards B.
Yeah, Major's in a great position for this. If they don't stop running close enough to him, and that's going to be right about now, yeah, the game is up. He heard that. And backup is being called for. Very good position. The scope, though, they might have heard that as well. Trying to make the jump past. He misses the opportunity at least one time. They're getting a bit closer now, but backup is here. Major going to hit a headshot, and the follow-up. Actually, it looked like he wasn't even aiming at Crims for the first time there. It looked like it was just almost a collateral shot, but really, really good job regardless. And there's a big difference. Like, say Major is holding B from the back of B, which could have made sense. He wouldn't have been able to hear them and call for backup. But the fact that he's that far out on catwalk means he can just hear them running, and he's like, oh, everyone show up. Not bad.
Jumpy staring directly into the camera. I wonder if he knows. Daydreaming a little bit. Well, yeah, now, again, it's going to be another buy for fnatic, but not a particularly good one. Just looking like they're going to go for a smoke setup over towards this A site. There is going to be a man up close they have to deal with. Calyx, he's been a detriment to them so far. Difficult to get rid of, and already finds a first and a second as well. He'll eventually burn alive, and in fact, Zontares, with the aggressive peak, will fall. CT side not going to be able to stop the bomb from going down. Paz looking for something back into this. JW actually lurking around in the smoke itself. They'll get rid of the man in connector and leave it on to just JW and Flusher, but JW still only has a CZ. he definitely doesn't have the range. It's mainly onto flusha, and he'll get peeked from CT. JW now just baiting back towards that palace, and there is an AWP homed in on that position, or at least there was.
Yeah, that's smoke up as well. Very hard to stop that, and he's going to have to run away another round here. The Turkish team now up to 7-1. Space Soldiers. What an incredible story this is. Looking like they are about to completely take off in this match. If they don't get stopped now, I'm not sure if fnatic can keep up.
Oh, that was mean. There's no one really stepping up. It's been a quiet game across the board for fnatic. Golden is at the bottom, but
2 people at 5 and then everyone else is below.
Yeah,
that's really rough.
It's back to pistols once again. We've seen the only round that came in from fnatic so far was off 1 AK and 4 CZs. This time they've upgraded to 5 CZs. And they're actually going to rush onto Engine already. Overwhelming one, he'll go down as well. Is there even point in buying rifles in Counter-Strike anymore? A little bit of team damage done by the AWPs. Antares will get nicked, and this is from the backlines. Almost a flawless round for fnatic with these CZs. And it's left onto Paz. He can at least try and make things costly. They don't have that much to lose. He's only got 3 HP.
Wow. The running pistols. More victims fall in their path. And Paz not going to make it out of this round alive either. Just not sure where to look. He's going to be going down. Second round for fnatic, and that's going to be frustrating. I mean, Space Soldiers can still buy, so at least it doesn't force them to eco, but let's see if that's enough to ignite fnatic here. Can that bring them back? Is it going to make them come alive finally?
Oh, we saw it in the previous map, a sort of 7-0 scenario for fnatic, and the comeback to 8-7. Still in favor of fnatic, but by Space Soldiers. Now, fnatic are going to look for the chance, and they've made a huge amount of money in that round. That's worth mentioning. They only invested half of their cash into CZs and armor. The rest of the players were, well, the rest was still saved and just added as a bonus into this round. JW will be handed a free AWP, and flusha has already found the aggression of Major not working out at all. CT side with a man disadvantage already.
flusha. That's a nice opening. So deep in, jumping all the way down, putting even more pressure on. The bomb is really far back, so flusha's just having a sort of solo mission going on. And Santaris will bring it right back. That's a huge win. Not exactly sure what Calix was looking at there. But now it's alone for Santaris, and should be easy for fnatic to find a way to get this bomb down and just close them out of the round.
Yeah, in fact, they've completely cleared out the B side. The 1 kill was enough to bait Zontaras into a full rotation towards A. And the bomb will comfortably be going down to shore. I wonder if we can actually have a look at the amount of money that Space Soldiers have left, because I don't think it's going to be a huge amount whatsoever. I think fnatic have just found themselves a way back into it. And you have to bear in mind, that round was flusha individually pushing into B, finding 3 kills and finally being traded. He is an individual that can step up for this team. We saw it at IEM. And if we're about to see that flusha now, Space Soldiers should be scared.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not out of the woods yet. At 7-3, every chance that fnatic could come back and have a really good first half. Still, this is a crazy game. I feel like both teams have had all the tools at one point or another to make this work, and then at different times they just can't really hold on to it. No deagle shot this time.
No, maybe USP? Do a little bit of damage. Of course, the T side, as I said, they've made a lot of money based off that bonus round. Calix will pick it up. He has been a notable character in this best of 3 so far. However, the T's have such an inherent advantage in this round that can't really expect much to be done. Even a kill would be something, even if it is just a minute confidence booster. flusha just running and gunning. Engine the only one left holding by the murder hole, just in case anybody makes some sort of silly mistake.
Yeah, if you could get, I mean, even a kill. steal a rifle away. There was an opportunity, but flusha's not going to give you more than 2 chances. 7-4, just like that. Big swing back for the Swedish team here in the match. I think the really big difference is the money. Big bank that's building on Fnatic, and Space Soldiers have had to invest every single dollar into this round, more or less. No defuse kit either. If they want to regain the confidence, then they need to start winning again.
Here we go, though. No real aggression this time, just Major will be spotting over towards that B side of the map. Actually, they're just going fairly fast on the T side, looking to maybe break back instantly. They know there's a buy coming in this one. They don't want to give anything. flusha, however, this time won't be able to get anything done, and Major's the one stepping up. 3 quick kills on towards the apartments, and while JW, he's the only one left alive, the in-game leader steps up when needed. And the question is, can JW make this costly? He's going to get rid of the AWP. I like that. He knows that the CT side love to run too, so why hand it over?
Yep, and then he's going to go and fight them. That was just a great spray transfer coming out of Major that round. You have to appreciate that. Space Soldiers back in the mix with an 8th round to the 4 of Fnatic. The Swedes can still buy. If their economy breaks again, though, could still be in that weird position where it still could finish 11-4.
Yeah, I think they've just got so much money, though, that's going to be easier said than done. Of course, CT side, flawless round themselves.
And they can buy this round and the next, but...
maybe for the last.
Maybe? I'm not sure.
Depends on bomb plants, really.
Yeah, I think that probably will be the difference maker. Golden jumping down, somehow wins that fight against Engine, who must have had all the information. He could have heard the drop down. He sort of knew he was running there. Just not ready for it. And very often when this happens on Mirage, someone else on the CT side will take an extra risk. They don't even need to. As JW goes down to Calyx.
Yeah, takes the individual fight. The rest of the team seem to be looking for more of a split towards this A site. Crims is going to get the opener, but again, it's a quick trade. It does leave Paz somewhat alone, although they do have Major watching from short if anybody is going to make their way towards that connector. And actually, the T's may be looking for a change of plan, taking all of their players back out of middle. flusha will be waiting, definitely looking like they're setting up for more of a split towards this B site. And in fact, we're watching as Zontara slowly rotates away. This time they're walking from very far back, however, not wanting to give any information over to Major.
Which is massive, because Major still has a Molotov in hand. He actually just put it up into the hallway, so that's going to be an annoying amount of time. They have to wait now. 25 seconds. Flashbang coming in. 24 seconds. They need to make a move, and now Major's going to call it in. He turns around expecting a flashbang, but none arrives. And he's going to be shut down almost immediately. No chance to reply. A lot of faith in that kind of a setup, and this time it did not pay off. As in Centaurus, can they get the retake? Getting out of kitchen here is not easy, and looks like they want to just fall back. Another round for Fnatic. Space Soldiers not able to string it together, which is so unfortunate when you're on the CT side.
Oh, they need to keep these players alive, however, making sure that they have enough to at least drop a couple of rifles into the next. They don't want to hand anything more away, and Fnatic know this. They know that their money's going to be on the ropes. 8-5. They have already won themselves the half, of course, but after such an early streak, it's the same sort of scenario where you looked at Fnatic and went, okay, they should have been winning by more. And I feel like Space Soldiers are going to be feeling exactly the same.
Especially if it finishes 8-7, you're right, then they're really going to feel cheated, I think. 5 rounds is, I think, within the margin of error for a team like Fnatic. It's not great on the first half, but I think it's enough that they can build something on it. Let's see how this moves on. No AWP in play on either side. There's a lot of utility for the Swedes. See if we can get some sort of execute up and going. Flusher. Blind shot through the smoke, almost connecting with the Major there. And spending the first very many seconds of this round just feeling out, especially the center of the map. Which they've been doing really well. They've had a good time getting control of this part of the map. Oh no. You hate to see that, Tom.
Oh, I wonder if that actually had any effect on the round itself. I think it may have done.
Typing in a language I can't even read.
That is unfortunate, because I think a player died to a Molotov. Then another player died because he didn't realize the server came back. Yeah, I kind of feel like that needs to be replayed. I think in most, yeah.
Yeah, everybody agrees. Good sportsmanship all around. No, no one feeling like.
Well, especially I think, well, Space Soldier's obviously coming out with an advantage, but I wouldn't say it's a fair one. A player dying to a Molotov because they physically cannot move because the server froze doesn't really help them out too much.
Oh, if you phrase it like that, Tom, then yeah, sure. Yes, I guess it's kind of difficult when there's, $800,000 on the line. You could be tempted to say,
oh yeah,
no, we'll just take that win.
I wouldn't blame you guys for doing it.
Yeah, but here's the problem, obviously. I mean, never mind that the community is going to hate you for a while, but every week they hate someone new. So maybe you could live through that, but you might wish that someone down the line does the same to you if you're in that position. So
yeah, well, the other thing as well is if I was going to win a tournament like this against a big team like Fnatic, I wouldn't want any questions to be called over whether we deserved it.
Yeah.
So if they're going to win it, I think I especially just seeing like interviews with players like Major, he's going to want to win it on his own terms and not because a server helped him out.
What does the Bible say? Do as you would be done by, I think.
I always just went with treat others how you want to be treated. I think that's...
Well, I think that's the same thing.
It's fairly, yeah, but maybe with slightly updated English.
Yeah. Fair enough, then.
Here we go, then.
Xantares, 81 health, just catching a bit of fire. Creeping in. JW ready, but the spray, I thought maybe he'd just get the straight headshot. The grenade chasing him down to 18 health. That's annoying. Sort of a round where you run into a Molotov, you run into an AK, run into a grenade, and you can't even do anything at that point. Like, there's no reply to any of it. JW looking for his next victim. Could have maybe got Engine, who was creeping around looking for it. Is there going to be a response here for Space Soldiers? They have a couple of people over by the apartments, so Paz and Calix, are they really playing double in Shadow?
That's yeah, they actually did this previously as well.
That seems so risky.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, there's no way they'd do that twice. So they're going to do it twice just to try and mind game them. But here we go. Quick push in. And there's the Molotov straight in. They have to peek out aggressively. Both players go down to Lecro. It goes horrifically for the CT side. And, well, surely there's no way back into this round. They know Engine's here as well. The rotations have been heard and held. And, well, easy for JW. Jumping in from behind. Major has no choice but to try and save. And, well, there's the risk, Anders. There is the risk of having two players.
I don't even know. If I was going to play two players in Shadow, wouldn't you want...
One holding a smoke, maybe?
Yes. that could actually be a thing. But that's still going to leave you in a lot of trouble, because you will just get spammed from different angles. How about one plays, on top and one below? And then whoever comes out of apartments that would normally throw the flash, the Molotov, he has to duel that guy. And if he wins that fight, slim chance he actually throws the Molotov down, because he's like, oh, well, I've already cleared that out. And then there's still someone there.
Well, that's sort of like what you see on a lot of other maps, where you play like two players in one angle just to, as a trickery sort of thing. I think that's why they did it, but it didn't work because they had to both leave because of the Molotov.
Yeah, I just feel like the odds that you have that happens is really high when Fnatic have the economy for it. 15th round coming up, ladies and gentlemen. The scoreline 8-6 here. And it is getting dangerously close. Fnatic with a huge comeback here in the first half. That's a great double. Centaurus picking up 2 of the Mag 7. A little bit of a spray coming in from Crim's long range. Engine is there. This time they actually are playing up and below, so I kind of like that a bit more. Calyx is right nearby. And Golden Crim's the last 2 left. Not quite going to check the corner, and that should be a 9th round here for Space Soldiers, which is not all bad. Just could have been much better.
Yeah, and it seems to be with the sort of last round of the half for Fnatic. It's one where mistakes are made. The buy from Space Soldiers was so weak. They had SMGs, they had a Mag 7. Obviously, Zontar is showing us how it's done, and while Major will close it. 9-6 half in favor of Space Soldiers. Not a bad resurgence, though.
Is he doing like a little OK sign with his hand there?
Well, that round wasn't okay. I just got Mag 7.
Yeah.
Unless it was sort of like a okay.
Yeah, surprised.
Yeah. I don't know, do you like do a different, like maybe you put one of the fingers down for different, like...
Yeah. I don't think, you've got to be careful here, you know. One of them might be like a gang sign or something. You know.
Well, that looks like a B. No one can see what we're doing, so
no,
it just sounds mental.
The production can. I'm just wondering, what are these guys doing? Well then, 9-6. Second half coming up. We've got smokes on 2 players and a diffuse kit, so a little bit more utility in this round.
Yeah, not like the first pistol.
Just want to remind you guys what we're playing for. The loser of this game gets 300,000. The winner gets 800,000. So there is an enormous amount on the line here for both these teams. And Lekro gonna get run over. He needed to hit that instant headshot, and now they're gonna be bouncing in. That smoke is incredibly well timed. And Space Soldiers with a really great pistol round strat here. Instantly bouncing into the bomb site. Bomb should be going down. They're a little bit paranoid, so they're checking out everything, which I actually think is a great idea.
Already Major dinks up Gold and leaves him low. The kit will be dropped onto the floor. Boost has been employed over towards short, but they desperately need to find a kill quickly. The kit can be retrieved, so that's something at least for the CT side, but they're just not winning any of these battles. So many low players. In fact, they will all be removed. A flawless pistol round for Space Soldiers. I think that's their 5th pistol out of 6 in this series.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, that should put you a fair bit of the distance to actually winning the whole thing.
But then it is worth saying that Fnatic took the first map and the second one went to overtime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of scary. Here's something I really like seeing from Space Soldiers. A lot of the time, if you are the T side coming into that kind of a push and you get 2 opening kills, you will just, like whoever's carrying the bomb almost jumps out of the apartment with the bomb in hand and just lands and puts it down. And there are a lot of rounds that are lost because people do that, because suddenly there's a 3rd player, and as you're putting the bomb down, he just strafes peek you, and then, you know, the bomb plant's delayed. Now you're playing 4 versus 3, and it can get really out of control. And Space Soldiers made absolutely sure they had everything covered by the time the bomb was going down. So taking a bit of extra time.
Very passive as well.
Yeah.
Like, we're the complete opposite of what we've seen from Fnatic in a lot of these afterplants. They were happy to sit back and wait for the push, like take fights, but not overly aggressive ones, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, we'll see if Fnatic can pull up one of those rounds that we've already seen a couple of times. CSED's a couple of deagles. Lekro's deagle has been known to be quite accurate. There's JW with 1, almost the second, but will leave Crims alone over by Tetris, and he's only going to get the 1 kill, so good trading for Space Soldiers. See if they get the bomb plant down without running into Flusher.
Yeah, Flusher with the CZ. Oh, deagle from Lekro almost manages to deny it. This time, not quite clearing all of the angles, and they do have a man still watching. Calyx will deny anything more, and now it is left all onto Flusher. HE won't do too much, and the rifle has been picked up in the meantime. And a simplistic cleanup for Space Soldiers. 11-6. Conversion rounds more than likely now, as nothing can be invested for Fnatic in this one. And well, by the looks of things, they're going to have a 6-round lead before fnatic can even have a bye.
How do you deal with that if you are on the Swedish side here? You said that 6 rounds wasn't all that bad, but then losing the pistol in the second half that's going to put some distance between you and the opponent.
It's basically similar to what we saw earlier, where they were 7-1 up.
Yeah.
And then, well, a little bit of a comeback, but then the pistol puts them back to that 6-round advantage again. Need flusha to turn it round again. Or maybe turn it long ways.
You may get your wish. Golden and JW going down. I'd like to see the MAC-10s and the UMP lead the charge here and just have the AKs play a little bit further back. Grim's not going to get the kill. It was close, but flusha now going to be on his own. A very safe round here for Space Soldiers with not much of a chance. flusha not hitting the timing for the peak. 12-6. My God, 3 rounds away. Well, 4 rounds, I guess, after this. $16 kills, 15-15. So no one's carrying Space Soldiers through on their own this time, I think. It's more of a team effort.
Yeah, well, obviously we talk about Inferno, and I think if you remove Calyx from the equation, and they don't win that map. I think there's no way they win that map. He was absolutely phenomenal. Tactical ball is actually taken by Space Soldiers. So it clearly maybe want to stop themselves getting giddy, or maybe just having like one of those sort of pauses to say, okay, we've got a set plan for this round, especially for this team. I doubt they'll be saving strats when there's 500,000 on the line.
Yeah, saving them for the major. Definitely not.
But this would be an absolutely massive tournament for them to take. Bear in mind, we had the likes of SK, Cloud9. Obviously, fnatic being another name that was thrown into that mix. Along with a lot of decent mixed teams as well. Russia finishing 3rd, taking themselves home a cool 150 grand. Wonder if Flamey might be calling into question not turning up, but...
Hooch is going to be excited. I'm happy for Hooch. 12-6. JW.
Okay.
Come on. That might have just been the most low-effort kill of the grand final so far. Paz is going to be taking down flusha. Finding his own rhythm. Essentially playing that M4 like an instrument, and eventually works out.
T-side still got quite a lot of presence over towards the ramp, but after the kill comes in onto short, I think they've opted to try and switch up their strategy a little bit. CT side with very little information, and obviously control of the ladder room helps them out significantly with any rotations. Only going to be Letcro over there. He normally plays the catalyst of this site, but he's left with a FAMAS. No kits on the CT side either, but JW's position. This is a great read. He may be able to catch them just as they go running. He'll try and join in with the crew, and he sprays down 2. Great work from JW. Calyx will have to quickly try and turn around and remove him from action, which is exactly what he does. Paz, he's got onto the site, but actually there's still a man waiting. Letcro could be about to play this so perfectly. Hooch is in, but actually it'll make no difference in the end. And wow, Letcro will close it out. What a massive play from JW. He finds all the info, takes a couple of kills with him as well. And that will be the 7th, mainly thanks to him.
They were just so well prepared for that push on the spatial. They had the whole setup. They were so ready. You know, they got all the grenades ready, and then JW just crushes it. That must have been a very deflating feeling, you know? That's no fun at all. It's when you turn up to your math class and your teacher says, remember we have a test today? And you're like, oh, I don't.
Have you got the homework?
Yeah. Ooh. Oops. 12-7. About time for fnatic, because they were running out of rope here in the second half. Now there's a chance, especially if they can start to build an economy. It would be interesting to see what would happen if they can start to build the resources to get an AWP, maybe even 2. Would they do it? I mean, they haven't been playing much with it. It's hard to imagine a double AWP setup, but if they really feel confident...
We saw it with Crims and Letcro, actually. Letcro playing over towards the B-Apps with an AWP. So we haven't seen it earlier in the tournament, but JW, actually, I think he had something like 30-odd kills in one of them and didn't use it at all. Crims will be able to find the opener, gets tagged within inches of his life. Now, him being over towards his default spot may mean they don't expect the shadow position to be held by Gold, and they will peek in, already take him down. A second for Paz as well, double entry onto the side. JW will be there to trade, but Engine pushing through the connector hits the timing perfectly. And now Letcro, we've seen some incredible clutches from him so far, especially in the first map. All the players are tagged, holding the angle though will be Calyx. Does a decent amount of damage, brings him down to their level.
Yeah, but look at Engine. He's already in CT spawn. It's a very smart play from Calyx, not re-peeking that. No reason to make it a 1 versus 2. Now Letcro, they're all low on health. He's going to get 1 kill turning around, but he's not ready for Engine. There's no reason why he would peek this, and Calyx will take him down. I think you could almost feel how deep Calyx had to dig to try and get the strength to not peek that again. Because he did it twice, and he got the damage. He knew that he'd hit him. Yeah. But he really, really wanted to. You could just tell that he was thinking about it. But not doing that is the sign of a smart player. 13-7, the Turkish team now up 6 rounds. But even worse for fnatic is the money. Reset right after the win.
Yeah, and the scenario now is that they lose this round. They don't have a bye up until overtime. Until they play for overtime, I should say. But they've won so many rounds like this all the way through the tournament.
Don't say it, Tom. Just feels like fnatic have an unusually high success rate with...
Yeah, but it also has to be pointed out that means they have a pretty poor rate of actually keeping their economy up. So they have to win so many of these rounds. So it's a positive in terms of how many they win, but it's a massive negative in terms of the fact that they always seem to be in these positions. They always seem to be getting reset and not stringing rounds together effectively. And also being broken back themselves when it comes to the sort of forced by rounds by other teams. So definitely work needed. The question is, right now, that's not really on their priority list. They need to win this round. They need to take something out of very, very little. The timing works well for JW. Already the first will be added, and it's very easy for these sort of rounds to spiral out of control. 1 kill like that can very easily throw off a team with even such an inherent advantage. Zontares pushing back in. JW will be spotted as well. There's quite a few players actually around this jungle spot. Golden, though, his position with an MP9 is never going to win in that duel. JW with the AK finds one, but Paz is there to trade. Calyx getting knocked down by Letcro as well. He's the only man left in the back of the site, but Paz will secure this round for his team. 3 kills, 14-7. Now what do fnatic do?
They're in an enormous amount of trouble here. There was not a lot of time left in that one, so when JW got that kill, I was getting really worried, but it doesn't pay off this time. And I think you're right. If they somehow circle close to Golden and Shadow, then there's a good chance, but they're so far away when they engage, and that MP9 is just not that effective. Stern faces right now on the Swedish team. Not too happy about what they're seeing on the scoreboard, and you can't really blame them either.
Well, I think it's interesting, like going into IEM, I think they were never expected to really do anything after what happened at Star Series. And it really is just sort of amazing how like up and down this team can be, because this final is one that they're definitely expected to win. Whereas, well, versus FaZe, I don't think anybody expected that.
Yeah, huge discrepancy, obviously, in those situations, and
they're forcing again.
They want to go all or nothing here. Big risk. 3 C-set 75s, a Desert Eagle, and that 1 scout on Crims. Let's see what they can bring us. 14-7. Space Soldiers 2 rounds away from having the biggest wins of their life. No doubt at all about that.
Yeah, the biggest prize pool around. And Space Soldiers called them a dark horse from the beginning of this tournament, a team that may have been able to upset. Probably should have been in the sort of top 4, top 8 at least, but they're in this grand final. However, Lecro looking to take them down. Now, I think on this map, Crims is probably one of the best scout players in the world. Like, can be utterly ridiculous with it. So these sort of early kills can make things very, very scary. Golden finds another one.
So far, the investment really working out for fnatic. Crims putting a little bit of pressure on here. Calyx has taken out Golden in the meantime. Now they're all showing up. Are they going to go and fight out in the open? This is a little bit scary. Grenades being exchanged. Calyx picking up one more. JW with a great shot on Lecro to clean it all up. Triple kill for him coming through the middle. Another one of these rounds for fnatic.
I don't understand how they do it so often. Maybe we should just take all of the highlight clips of them doing this and just send them all to Valve and just put CZ question mark and see if they'll finally change something, because it's amazing how many of these rounds.
If somebody could Photoshop me like a GIF where you have like a pinball machine, you know that little bonus save pin that can come up and save you sometimes? You have that just be the CSET 75 every time the Fnatic ball is about to hit. It's like, oh.
And then on the old machines, it would be the Tech 9.
Yep, exactly right. JW to take down Major. And Lecro nearly getting caught with the Molotov in hand. The Space Soldiers are pushing in. Nice shot from Lecro. Really good job slowing it down, but Flusher still going to be dropped. Santaris not happy about that last round. Going to come up with a big double entry onto the site. And bomb will go down, but there is a flank coming. And once again, it's JW. Crims not getting the scout shot. Are they ready for it? Calyx is kind of watching this, but the Molotov will force him out, so he has to run. Is that enough for JW to make it in? The bomb is only just planted. There's not quite enough time here. They need to buy a little bit more. As JW goes down, it's going to be Calyx and then Engine to fall, and fnatic keep the dream alive a bit longer. 14-9 now. Some really scary rounds here.
Well, this is where you have to wonder, will Space Soldiers sink or swim? They still have a fairly hefty lead. 5 rounds the advantage. They only need 2. The pressure is definitely on. This is such a big moment for them. It'd be a massive tournament for them to steal away from so many teams that would have been expected to take it. The question is now, can they do anything back with these pistols? Not much invested into this round. It's some Deagles. Aggressive push up from Golden. Eventually will be forced back, and Zontaras can't do much more. Engine, in the meantime, going to make a little bit of an aggressive push over towards that B side of the map, but very close to being caught out. And of course, only has a Glock, so can't really expect much.
Engine pretty drop low in the beginning here. We'll see if Santaras or Calyx, you have to assume, would be the ones to pick up a kill early on if anything's going to happen. Not sure what Major's doing. Waiting with the bomb, might just be talking. Trying to figure out how to rally the troops. It's tricky because they obviously have a pretty good buffer.
Yeah.
Likely going to be 14-10, but that still means they have a couple of sort of full rifle rounds where they can try and get the last 2 in. So like, it's definitely theoretically possible, but the one thing that just can't happen is if some of the key players run out of steam. Got to keep that morale up and running. 14-10, getting late now into the second half of this final map. Did have overtime on the second one.
Well, it's looking like a similar sort of scenario, though. Like, one team in the lead, getting ready to just take things over the line, and then allowing the other back in with maybe a bit of a mistake. T-side will have themselves a decent buy into this one. Utility on every single player, excluding Zontaras, and just looking like they're going to set up over towards this A side of the map. Zontaras will be pushing into the palace, the rest just waiting towards ramp, and the smokes already being set up. JW has rotated in. Major will just be looking to flank the hold off rotations. But here we go.
Not going to be easy for Golden. His teammates might be smoked off. JW really wants to help, but he's not quite sure yet. Space Soldier's a little bit slow behind the initial smokes, waiting to see if anyone's going to come in and peek. I think they're hoping that someone's going to run through the smoke, but nobody has so far. Now I'm getting a little bit worried. They've already used all of the utility. Crim's going to get one kill there. Golden to follow up, taking down Engine. And through the middle, the flank for Major doesn't work out. 1 versus 4 here. I think Space Soldiers had a very specific idea in mind. Put up the smokes and see if anyone's going to peek at the edge on that side, and nobody did.
Well, I think there was a counter Molotov down just as they went to push.
Yeah.
And it is sort of one of those scenarios where if you get stuck on this ramp, you almost always lose the round. You need to like either find a quick kill or just go running into the site, because the second you stop here, you just get bombarded by utility and multiple players will rotate in, and that's exactly what happened. Calyx, he's hoping to find something. He is correct in thinking there's a man pushing in on the flank, just not quite correct on the timing. And in fact, they're just looking to try and hold him in here. Flusher peeks out. 4 players survive for the CT side. Already such a bolster of cash. And on the other side, T's have nothing.
There's nobody on either side that's doing the hard carrying that we've been talking about in some of the other games. Really much more even this time. Maybe Golden a bit behind on the scoreboard.
Well, especially on Space Soldiers. 3 kills between top and bottom.
14-11. C-set 75s and a deagle on Space Soldiers. And the nightmare continues here for the Turkish team. They can probably feel that victory really close. But they obviously know that they're playing against fnatic and can't take anything for granted at this point.
Orp even going to be thrown in now for JW. A little bit of a different dynamic. Only up against pistols in this round, although it's only we've seen a fair few upset rounds. It's going to be the split from short on towards this B side, but they're still held back. Lekra up above, just waiting for this push to come in. Already has the rotation, spots out one, finds the kill. Gets tagged a little bit. However, it's not looking good in this scenario. He'll even take another, leaving it all onto Engine. Even doing damage doesn't have too much of a point anymore, as there's so much money on the fnatic side. And it is going to be another round on the board for the Swedes. This is where they need the round. I feel like if they lose this next one, the match will fall away.
Yeah, tension much too high here in China. If they could have got the bomb down, that would have helped them. I'm impressed that they got that far in towards the B bomb site by the time that they actually sort of exploded onto it, but it wasn't enough. They needed more. 14-12. Getting dangerously close now. The Swedish monster that is fnatic have finally started to wake up after a very slow start where it was looking a bit odd here on Mirage. Now they might just get the full sweep back into the game. And Space Soldiers know it. Got a sort of default cover here just to make sure that they aren't going to get snuck in on anywhere. Ooh. Smoke always tricking people. JW heard it and realized that it failed. Is he going to try and peek behind it? Not quite yet.
Man, that's not a smoke that normally missed. It will mean that they have to use some extra utility to rectify that mistake, and maybe the pressure is starting to get to Space Soldiers a little bit. Unforced errors. Bomb is going to be rotating back towards that A side. They look to split in, but there's JW already looking like a shutdown from the CT side. Calyx needs this kill and nothing will come of it. Major is left alone with the bomb. And while it's definitely looking like Space Soldiers are starting to crumble here from 14-9, it's looking like we're going to get ourselves a 4th round in a row for the Swedish side. Major would have to pull off something utterly incredible here, and Golden is soon to find out where his opposing in-game leader is. Nice shot onto him at least, but JW won't allow for any more shenanigans. 14-13. T-side, well, they're going to take a tactical pause, and JW just brought up an auto sniper.
Yes. That excites me. It's been so long.
Give it to Letcrow, B-Apps, maybe?
That would be very powerful, without a doubt. Good job on Golden. Like we said, he hasn't really been doing very well in that round, or in this game in general, in the second map, or third map, sorry. But this time, Santaris was coming out of apartments first, and he actually Molotov Shadow where Golden was holding, and he still managed to hold on to the position, which is super important. Because otherwise, if Golden goes down, then suddenly the people who are playing jungle can't really stop the people coming out of connector. So like, there's a whole thing that goes on there where Golden needs to win that fight. You're right. There's the auto sniper.
It's actually on Golden.
Why not?
So I think he's been playing towards the A site. So
I mean, if they do an A execute with smokes, you can just hold down mouse 1 and shoot. That's like actually a classic setup for this map. 14-13. It does look like an execute. Santaris quick in the bomb site before anything even touches the ground. Could it be picking off Crims? What a big opening. Now Golden. Can he put this giant sniper to use? It does penetrate absolutely everything, so maybe it's going to be worth it. The bomb going down on the other side. Quick with the bomb plant, but flusha coming up with 2 big shots. Taking down Santaris and Major, and Engine wants to fight, and he will get the headshot. That's actually critical now. 2 of them in CT spawn. No more grenades left here for Space Soldiers. So they have to go for the straight-up fight. They can't even buy any more time. This won't be easy. They're all trapped at Tetris. This is an awful position right now for the Turkish side. Golden gonna pick up 1 kill and leaving it alone. Engine, no chance at all. There's 14 rounds being picked up here for Fnatic. How did they all get trapped in that one corner?
Such a big retake, especially considering the entry came in so fast for Santaris. Again, we talk about just Golden's ability to stay alive, staying alive in the back of the site, and when it came down to that retake, playing a crucial role with the auto sniper. Now I feel like is where the T's start to really dwindle. They've lost 5 rounds in a row in such a commanding position on the T side, making that one crucial mistake versus a force buy. We talk about it again and again, about how they're able to do this, and here comes the auto sniper again. Golden will be removed. Crim's still waiting, and they're not going to check the angle. Such a crucial position. Crim steps up, and 15-14. Fnatic bring things back from the depths with a force buy, and now they have themselves map point.
Absolutely unbelievable comeback here. Sweden making their way back. 1 more round is all they need. And Space Soldiers trying to double up on the aggression, trying to be even faster, hitting even harder on that A-bomb side. Did not work out. You can almost tell, you can read their faces at this point. They're not loving this.
And yet Flushers has not changed since the beginning of the day.
No. That's just, it's what makes him so good. It's what you have to love about him.
Been in this position a million times before. 14-9. I still can't quite stop harping on about the fact that that literally was like a ridiculously bad buy on that round, and now they sit 15-14 up. A force buy that I wasn't even sure would ever come through. And now the T's are the ones having to try and force the issue here. They're avoiding that auto sniper. I don't blame them.
It hurts. Even a leg shot, you're not going to have a good time. So let's see. They tried the execute, and it didn't work out. B instead. I don't mind that, but the problem is they've shown no presence in middle at all. So that means there's no incentive right now for Fnatic to move anybody out of the B bomb side. Flusher sort of peering in towards the middle, but if they don't find anyone here, the defense should be pretty good. They still have a ton of utility. Man, this is a big risk for Space Soldiers. Over a minute, and you can tell they're setting up for the grenades. One of them is probably going to block Flusher out, so he can't really help out Lekro, but if he runs through it and puts in the Molotov, that might just make the whole round. Let's find out. Smoke going to be bouncing in. There's the one trying to block off Flusher from the one side. Flashbangs are in, but Flusher is on the other side. And here comes the spray, getting 1 kill. The headshots in. JW with 1 more. Now it's just 1 kill left for $800,000. It's Engine in a 1 versus 5, and he's going to go down. There's Flusher, and Fnatic take the whole tournament. Your champions, ladies and gentlemen, WESG 2017. What a comeback.
I don't know how they've done it. I genuinely don't know. They were in possibly the worst scenario we've seen them all the way through this tournament. 14-9. They had pistols to fight back with. They managed to steal a round away and then string the remaining rounds together. You have to wonder if the pressure just gets to Space Soldiers at that point in time. We saw it somewhat last year, obviously getting themselves this time to the grand final, taking themselves to that third map after an overtime victory in what was a very close series overall. But you just have to wonder how they've managed to do this. The Swedish side, well, they've earned that trophy.
Partly experience for sure, and I think you're right, the pressure did probably get to them. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, fnatic, your champions. Unquestionably a learning curve for Space Soldiers. Next time they get into this position, they'll have learned a bit more, they'll be a little bit more prepared, they'll be a little bit stronger. That's how it works.
Semi-final last year, final this year, maybe champions next year.
Could definitely happen. Absolutely a powerful team coming out of Turkey, and they should be proud regardless. Obviously still an enormous amount of money, 300,000 in their pockets. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and especially when you look at the caliber of teams that are at this tournament, I think people are looking at this thinking, okay, SK, okay, Cloud9, fnatic were definitely up there, but Space Soldiers, they've sort of been my dark horse, and they came damn close. And then in the end, when it came down to the last map or last few rounds, they probably should have been the ones to take it.
Yeah, they had it lined up. They could have maybe done it. I think, yeah, just back to the drawing board and keep pushing at it. Obviously, an exciting team. fnatic end up winning it. I don't even know what to say. That was, I think that was a worthy grand final. Ended up all 3 maps and everything.
We even got an auto sniper.
We even got an auto sniper. You can't really ask for more than that. Yeah. So, anything else we've got left to say? I'm not sure. I've run out of ideas. I do think we have the closing ceremony coming up, so you guys can stay and check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Tom. Had a good time.
It's been fun.
Look forward to...
No more LED lights, please.
No more LED lights.
No.
Closing ceremony coming up. Stay with us.